Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
And that's Nana.
Oh, hi, Nana.
She's a puppy.
You can see part of it. Come here. Come here.
She's a dog.
Come here. You want to come up? Come here. So Sarah's our new mascot. Nana has nothing to do with Star Wars. She just happens to be a really heavy sheepdog.
She's so cute.
Hello. Guess what? You're on YouTube.
Literally,
How do you feel about
tens of
this?
people are watching me right now.
Katie, would you like to do your first awkward interview with Nana right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nana, what's it like to be a dog? Really? Fascinating. First-hand account.
Thank
Do
you.
you like being on YouTube? Amazing. Yes.
Hashtag trending.
There we go.
Go ahead. Just keep.
Done it.
Speaking of hashtags and dogs,
I'm so should get down.
use the hashtag Geeks Corner. Tonight we're going to be talking about dogs, so feel free to address questions to Nana. But more importantly, not more importantly than a dog, of course, we are talking a lot about Star Wars, so feel free to use SWCO, which is the hashtag for Star Wars Celebration. If it's regarding that, we'd love to carry on the conversation from that. But most importantly, hashtag Geeks Corner so we can see it and talk to you, the
So
fans.
use both.
Both.
You're saying both.
Both.
Yes. So did we start the show with a video? Is that what we did, Tyler? I wasn't paying attention.
Cool.
Let's show what happened over the weekend before we get to Star Wars Celebration, if you can do that, Mr. Producer. Yeah. All right, this was our fun adventure on Easter Sunday at Disneyland. Yes, sir.
Remain compliant. Do not endanger the public. Citizens,
They're making an arrest.
resume employment. Nothing to see here.
Hi, bud.
You got right, my man.
Be careful.
Let it go. Let him go.
Nah, he's guilty. He is guilty.
315, do not engage. Understood. Excuse me, citizen. Stand here. Halt.
Just fast with her.
I read you, command. Go ahead. Stand back, citizens. Maintain a safe distance. Affirmative. In custody now. Yes, sir. Visual ID only, sir. We are escorting to Med Shuttle for neural retinal bioscan. Semi-invasive. Copy that, command. By whose authority? Yes, sir. Affirmative. Your release has been ordered. You are free to go. We have eyes on you. Watching.
Is of course a famed despondent of the First Order and a member of the Resistance, and he was arrested recently in Tomorrowland, as you do.
Mm-hmm. It was an adventure.
It was something.
You want to talk about your observations of this video?
Oh, my favorite part.
You had
was,
lots of commentary as we were moving right along there.
We were there for it, but still, watching it again, there's just so much commentary. The best part is that Mr. Daps does not put down his coffee. He's like, yeah, I'm getting arrested, but listen.
Please, very important
He's like,
stuff.
my Americano, very important.
It was very important.
I know, it's just, that's my favorite part of the whole video, and he's just standing there like, can I have more Starbucks now? Like,
Is this
is
done?
there a Starbucks in prison?
Because if so, like, I could go.
I guess. I mean, I'm just doing what they told
But
me
they
to.
only serve talls. No!
You know me well. So, Star Wars Celebration over on the other coast. Actually, we had Murray at Galactic Night, so there's some coverage up of that, which is really cool. But we're not really going to talk about that because none of us really were there.
But we observed from afar.
Yeah, they got to meet BB-8, bigger version. And you were not most excited, but something you were excited about this weekend that we thought we'd lead off with is a new video game, Battlefront 2.
Video games.
Battlefront 2.
Why
I was actually very
excited about this? And I'm excited too, but you were super
and
excited.
the point is he's excited. I, as you probably know, dear internet that follows my tales, neck blights, I'm a huge video game fan. So is Katie.
Wait, you?
But normally we don't get to talk about him that much because I would take up the entire show with him.
Accurate.
And Katie wouldn't get to talk.
It's true. It's really true.
It's happened before.
Also
But
accurate.
Battlefront 2 is coming out. It was mentioned at Star Wars Celebration, and it looks amazing. Most importantly, there is going to be a single player campaign, which is great for all you loners out there like me. I
Actually, will admit I like the multiplayer better.
Multiplayer's
Co-op-
fun, but I love a
Co-op
good
is a
single
lot
player
of fun.
True.
It is, and they did that well with Battlefront. But yeah, it's cool. I'm excited.
So you're excited about the single player campaign. Anything else you're excited about?
Well, they have upgraded the multiplayer a lot. There's going to be a lot of, I think they have to like a 64 person map or something like that. It's many people's, and
Which just means there's going to be that many more people to kill you.
absolutely, yes. But the maps will be much bigger too, so
Yes.
it'll spread them out. That and I loved from the first Battlefront. They're keeping it. It's all of the ships that are. That was my favorite part about Battlefront 1 is that you get to operate all these amazing crafts of the Rebellion and the Resistance now, and the Empire and First Order. It's great, and so I'm very much looking forward.
I
to
just hope it's not one of my biggest complaint with the first one is we got through it too fast.
it. Well, that's the whole point. There was no story in it whatsoever. So
Yeah, but we played all the levels and we killed lots of people and got to be Darth Vader and the Emperor. And that was, I think, the hit of the first one was getting to do some of those characters. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I never played the first Battlefront because I'm a bad geek. Like, I'm so ashamed to say it. I wanted to
How
play
is it that, like, of the three of us,
that's the one.
she's the one
Yeah.
that...
Wait,
wait, can you just lift up your left arm like this?
The one
Thank you.
with Star Wars literally upon her.
But doesn't mean I have time for bidget games.
But that's the beauty of the first Battlefront. You pick it up and play it
I
for
made
3
time-
minutes.
Or 3 hours, but that's okay.
It happens to be 3 hours.
I know, bad geek. I'm aware.
We'll correct it soon. Don't worry, Internet.
Yes, but I like the idea of more video games being in the world, especially if there's Star Wars involved. So
And designed well. Oh, designed well.
Yeah.
So good.
so.
So we're gonna let Cameron continue to talk. You have a cat or something, and it like
I do
Star
have a cat.
Wars, or I don't know.
Denizens of the Internet know I have a cat, and therefore I am among the elite.
Is that how it works?
You know the Internet. You've met the
I
Internet.
do like cat videos.
So, in the long-held tradition of internet cat videos, I would like to present one of our own.
Our first Geeks Corner cat video, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think so,
We've
good.
had dog videos before, and
so-
this might be the first dog and cat episode.
Yep. So the
Go ahead.
text on this will explain it a little bit what's happening, but it involves a very unique skill that my cat has.
I'm not a huge cat person, but I have to respect a cat that likes John Williams.
Yep. So that all came about because my alarm is the main thing from Star Wars. It's the only thing that can wake me up
See,
anymore.
even Nana liked it. She's
yeah.
paying attention. Good girl.
So yeah, my cat is trained to just the main theme. I found this out. We were just playing music randomly, and the main theme of Star Wars came on, and my cat came and found me. It was like, so yeah, food, like that's what's happening, right? That's what John Williams means is food. So I'm very proud. Hi, cat.
Aw, are you proud, Chips?
Apparently not. Didn't care.
Aw.
Well, he's cool. Too cool for school.
Too cool for school. All right, Star Wars Celebration Orlando. We're back to again. They announced Star Wars Rebels Season 4 is on the way. It will be the final season. Am I the only person that actually watches this show?
Yeah, you are.
That is
Well,
so
here.
disappointing.
Other people watch it in the world.
But
Does
I know
anybody
it
back
looks
here
good,
watch
but I
Star
just need to
Wars?
sit down and binge it all.
So I'm hoping somebody on the internet is watching Star Wars Rebels with me. 'Cause
Apparently, a lot of people are.
it's a great show. I
it's
have
going.
never thought that I would really be getting into a cartoon that I have to watch every week. And very enjoyable. They have done it right, and it really carries on the spirit of Star Wars. You like it? Yeah, and really has, I don't know, it's added a lot of depth, I think, to what's going on between the prequels and the original series. So this next year, I'm thinking Ahsoka's coming back. I don't know if I'm right or what she's going to come back as. I mean, for all we know, she'll be a wolf or something. You guys didn't even know who she is.
No
do
idea.
you?
Nope. 100% no.
Nope, you don't know Ahsoka either. Okay.
You know, I do have to say this in relation to, I was watching the panel discussion on it. The
At
gentleman,
least you have that.
I do.
Dave Filoni, I'm betting you're
Dave
you're
Filoni, yes, Hat
is my
Hatman.
hero.
He's like the best person to handle Star Wars ever, and I haven't even seen his stuff, and I completely trust him.
He's brilliant, and
he's a fan. He's such a fan, and I respect that with anybody that works.
And I wish he was sitting on the couch with you right now, so we could be talking to him about this. And why didn't he get? He was at the Heroines of Star Wars panel. I think it was the day after or something, and they gave out Star Wars action figures to all of the girls.
Oh, that would be so cool to give him an action figure.
And he didn't have an action figure. Granted, he didn't have a character either, but
not important.
But Daisy Ridley got one.
Minor details.
Yeah, you know, it was pretty cool.
But there was a moment in it where a bunch of, I think they were 501st Legion troopers came in.
Were.
And his reaction was kind of bemused that they came in, and then he got really excited. He's explaining, he's like, I'm completely safe no matter where I go because there are clone troopers. Like, I can just call on clone troopers, and they're usually there. And I was like, that's the coolest life.
He has to be one of the most awesome geeks in the world. So they talked a little bit about last season, which was really amazing because they had this huge battle at the end of it that was between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
Was it a Star Wars?
No, it was on a planet.
Nice try.
Good job, though. So it was Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul and just the character arcs that have led them to where they are. And it was really setting up Obi-Wan for A New Hope and what we see, the Obi-Wan we know then. And we were talking about Stephen Stanton the other day.
Amazing voice actor.
Absolutely amazing. I wish I brought it out. He was doing a, what would you call it? Like a promotion for the Starlight Foundation for kids, and so I retweeted his thing and followed him, and so he sent me a signed copy of Rogue One, which I really wanted to have out here tonight, and I forgot. So next week I'll show you my really cool thing. But talk about him and Obi-Wan and just the brilliance that Stephen Stanton is.
I come from a theater background, so I feel like I appreciate this even more, but even having no experience, you can look at this and see it. Two different physical actors have played Obi-Wan. Both of them are very different. Ewan McGregor, all the way up to Sir Alec Guinness, excuse me. And Ewan McGregor did a great job of doing a young Obi-Wan, but there's a huge transition between the two characters. And what he was able to achieve from the bridging of the two voices is it's amazing because you can blend it and you can hear little bits of both of them in the transition. He could totally do either of them. And
then he can do Admiral Raddus from Rogue One, like within seconds.
But I think that's the best part is that he could do either Ewan McGregor or Alec Guinness just straight up. But the fact that he took the time to blend them and find where the median is to go, that's respect, much respect.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So looking forward to next season. It'll be the final season. It looks like there's going to be some pretty heavy costs, which will be, I think, really good. Like, you have to have that. It'll be interesting to see where the characters go. I think one of the highlights for most general Star Wars fans that don't watch the show is the potential return of Boba Fett in this next season. See, you guys at least smiled for that.
I just smiled because I knew what he was doing behind me.
Yeah.
Read my article on dapsmagic.com about Boba Fett. See if I have opinions. I do. Spoiler alert.
We'll see where Ezra goes. You guys don't know who he is, but it sounds like he's going. Huh?
That's the main one.
Do you know what he looks like?
He has brown hair.
Purplish brown. Yeah, we'll go with it. Good job. We'll give it to you.
A color.
Yeah, you know. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. was talking about where the season's going, and his, I guess, takeaway for me was the good guys don't always win. And I think that's just a really interesting place to take Star Wars, and it should be a lot of fun. And then who knows what comes next? What would you like to see for a cartoon after this? Because I know there's going to be more.
I would like them because I mean it is a quote-unquote kids show.
No, it's so much more.
But there have been many children's shows that deal with these deeper things. And even though I have very low experience with it, I know that they're dealing with not darker subject matter, but certainly more real subject matter in the context of a sci-fi world. I love that these shows can address these more adult, complex themes in such a way that children can understand them and help adults understand them as well.
So what story's next?
I'm sorry?
What story is next? Where do they go next in the animated world of Star Wars?
I think talking about loss more. I mean, just as a general concept. I mean, there's going to be characters that are pretty obviously not involved in the main trilogy, and so either they're going to have to surreptitiously be in the background of everything that's happening in the future, or there's going to have to be loss, either physical loss or some other explanation.
When do you think it's going to take place?
I think
timeline.
Leading right up to the events of Rogue One, I think.
No, I mean in the next show.
The next show?
Yeah, whatever they make next. Where do you think they go in the next? Like, are they going to make it? Obviously, they'll make another show.
Like another Star Wars show?
Yeah, where's the next Star Wars animated? I think it'll be after Return of the Jedi.
I mean, that's an obvious place. Depending on what they're looking at doing with the Han Solo spinoff, they may do more Han Solo stories.
You could do
would
stuff
be my
like
guess.
That is true.
I feel like after Jedi is going to be a little bit more loose in the canon because they want to keep that open for more movie spotlights, would be my guess.
Or TV shows.
Or TV shows.
All right, Star Wars themed land, whatever you want to call it.
Star Wars themed land.
What do you think of that panel?
I mean, we didn't learn a ton new, but it's every little bit they're giving out.
But we get to go to Crate for Star Tours. Is that what it's called? Crate?
The planet with the red dusty stuff?
The dusty red planet.
Yes, dusty red planet.
The white planet with red dust.
Yes. Under
that one. Yeah, and that's not even in Star Wars land. That's Tomorrowland.
Star War land. Yes.
We get to control the Millennium Falcon, and we get to decide where it ends up. Guys, I'm so excited.
The funny part about that is we're gonna go on that, and Katie's just gonna be like, "Look, it's right here." You're supposed to be pushing buttons, but it's right here.
That's what
Katie, you just killed us.
Here's my biggest
right here.
concern out of everything they talked about, and I don't mean to bring concerns right at the top of the bat, because it looks amazing and detailed and intricate, and especially like the little shopping area row scene they showed. It looks very constrained. I'm sure a lot of that is going to be Imagineering to make it look smaller than it actually is. But they're going to have to severely limit the numbers that can actually get in that section of the park if you want, because it's story driven. It's supposed to be all connected as you go through, which is ambitious and fantastic. But if you shove too many people in there, you're not going to be able to experience that at all. So I have a feeling there's going to be a severe cap on entry into that area of the park.
Makes sense.
Which I'm actually all for, because even if your experience times are limited, you will get a much better experience out of it.
Miss Bailey C brings up a good point. They're probably saving more for D23 Expo as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
On the Star Wars theme land. Let's move right along. And what was your favorite moment from the Star Wars Celebration weekend? I've already told you what mine is, so you can't steal it.
Oh.
I have mine.
Okay, you go first.
It was the...
Watch the same one.
No, we talked about this already.
Just checking.
It was Mark Hamill's Remembering Carrie Fisher panel, and he just was talking about how it was so easy to get wrapped up in nostalgia, and he remembers just every night he sees her in all of her sarcastic, witty, funny glory, and it's really, that's the way we should be remembering her, not idolizing her into something she wasn't. She's still that sarcastic figure.
Well, and he even told the story of apparently they were talking about someday funeral, and she made, how did it go exactly? Like, if I die first, I want you to make fun of my funeral or make fun?
No, it was a very specific way that she went out, if I remember right. Yeah, that was like ridiculous in some fashion.
She wanted it to be a complete farce, basically, the funeral, and he said, "Me too," and they both agreed that they do that, and then he's like, "But I can't do that today."
Right.
It was a very nice moment. Yeah.
But it was just nice for someone to acknowledge the nostalgia and death kind of changes the way we remember people. And it was nice to have that real... It was a good panel, but that was my favorite.
Well, it was nice that they acknowledged how she wanted to be remembered.
Yeah. And
gave that the respect that she deserves.
Yeah.
Mine actually came from the Rebels panel, if you can believe that.
I can't.
There was a moment where he referenced that there was a cosplayer that had left, and he needed to go find her, who was dressed like one of the drawing concepts for a character. Like somebody had gone through the detail from a concept character to make a full costume of it. And he said that's that's my favorite part about coming to these things. You guys come to, learn stuff. Mine is to go see what the amazing things you do and to be able to point the camera back and go, there are people doing amazing work that are coming to these things that are just engrossed in this world. It was a good fan honoring moment. And that's really what I feel like the whole point of Celebration was about, is just to give it back to the fans so they can enjoy
And I
it.
think that's something I really love about Star Wars Celebration in general, and why I wish I was there, is it really is a celebration of the fans, unlike really anything else you're going to go to. I mean, you're walking down the hall and, R2-D2 is driving by you, and then you see Padme, and like, it's just a ridiculous thing, and I think in many places it could be almost a one-upmanship, and it can get really, and there's the fans that kind of want to kill each other, but the general feel and the culture that you feel is slightly different than other ones I've been to,
just,
where we're just geeking out about Star Wars, and we do want the best seats, but it's pretty cool. My favorite moment had to have been at the end of the 40 years of Star Wars, where they were remembering Leia again, and then John Williams shows up with the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra, and that was cool. He played Princess Leia theme, but then he played Star Wars, which is great also. But then the third thing they played was the Imperial March, and just as they started, the crowd erupts, and you just see that grin. And we were talking about this the other day, and it was just like that moment of complete satisfaction and happiness wrapped up into, I created something that 40 or probably 36 years, is that what it is now for that one? But decades later, people are so totally in love with and geeking out about, and I'm getting to bring that to them.
It was so
little,
just this
little
bitty smile. He's just like, yeah.
But it was just a guy loving what he did and what he brought to the world of geek, and that was absolutely fantastic. Speaking of bringing something to the world of geek, Miss Bailey C did it again. She has a meme for us.
Me!
Let's let Cameron read this one.
Oh goodness, my eyesight is not good. Stop! We know you have the secrets of the Last Jedi. Tell us now. All I have is a cup of coffee. That was my best, Mr. DAPs.
Those are really
Is that what I sound like?
sometimes.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Before the coffee.
Before the cup of coffee.
When they're arresting
All I
you
have is
before
a
you
cup
can
of
drink
coffee.
your coffee.
Okay. Yeah, and apparently they're enjoying NanaCam. I guess that's a new thing. That's exciting. That's great. 40 years of Star Wars. Was there anything else from that everybody that popped out at you guys?
From that particular panel?
Yeah, that first panel.
Just the honor ethics. It was just so good to see all of the work still being appreciated now. And it goes back to the Williams thing, that just there's so much canon and stuff that this stuff could get old, but it isn't. Like, it's just, everybody still loves it. Everybody still enjoys it.
Speaking of things people love, Star Wars The Last Jedi teaser also was released over the weekend.
Well, did that happen?
It kind of did. Can you imagine if it didn't?
Yeah.
I actually think people might have been a bit disappointed that it didn't happen at the end of the 40
I mean,
years.
it would have happened at D23 if they didn't do it there.
Yeah, but I kind of think people were expecting it day one, and they wanted it right then at that first panel. And
I wanted it 6, 8, 12 months ago.
Yes, exactly.
I wanted it before Star Wars.
So, who wants to go? You want to lead off on what you thought about the teaser?
So excited. So, fun fact about the first time I watched the trailer was I woke up to a text from Mr. Daps being like, Star Wars trailer, watch now! And
Where was my text?
I was half asleep.
You already were watching, I'm sure.
I was half asleep, and I wake up, I'm like, huh? What? Star Wars? And I'm trying to find it half asleep, and then I watched it, and I was like, I am ready for the day. I'm gonna go to work, like Star Wars, because, oh my gosh, there's so... And I've watched it 5 times, and I still feel like there's things...
You've only watched it 5 times.
I'm a bad geek. I still feel like there's things I have to unpack, and there's so much. I'm going to steal something you
Please,
said.
go ahead.
They're giving us so much while giving us so little, and that is what I hope they continue
And what's
to
your
do.
favorite moment in it? Or, like, what's that thing that really just...
I've got mine. Come on.
It might be the wide shot of Rey using the lightsaber and Luke, like, standing and watching her, because it's
on the hill.
It's a good
such
shot.
a cool shot.
Oh,
The Karate Kid moment.
Yeah.
that too.
Isn't that what it... I mean,
Yeah.
that's
It
what I
really
thought
is.
of, but go ahead, Cameron.
Mine's
What'd
actually
you-
a Ray moment too.
But tell us what you thought of the trailer, or teaser first.
I respect them because they're doing the same thing they did with the last one, which is, again, not giving us very much, but giving us a lot of things to inference, but not a lot of actual details, which I think is so good for the mystery of these movies to make us just gnaw at them to try to figure out anything we possibly can and really get nothing. I mean, they've given away nothing. And
I loved watching the Twitter, and then they even had a part of the Star Wars show where they brought a bunch of experts on, and all they did was talk. Like, I thought they were going to really analyze it, but it was like, oh, this happened here. That could mean this.
Right.
But we don't really know. And I love that it's exactly what you said. For how much they gave, all it did was create more questions.
My favorite moment going with that goes back to one thing that I really like they're doing in this latest series of movies is they're really going back to the spiritual nature of the Force. They've been talking. I think that's where a lot of folks got lost in the prequels because they got so scientific and detailed about the Force, and really the
Star Wars and Star Trek should
I was
never
going to say,
mix.
just tell about the midichlorians.
So they're getting back to this very mysterious, and this goes back to the trailers, very gushy feel to the Force. And the scene that did it for me is when you see Rey's hand on the ground, and there's all these little pebbles and stuff, very similar to Episode 5 when Luke is training with Yoda, and you just start to see things working. That was a very special moment for me. That's the one that got me, because I was like, yep, this is a very spiritual moment. There's no analytics of what she's doing. She is simply experiencing the Force.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
We do have a comment.
We do have a comment.
We have a few comments.
We have a few comments.
We have
I'm going
comments
to
from the
repeat them
internet.
after you because they might not hear you.
Miss Bailey C says, I've watched it twice, but I got goosebumps. Also, longer trailer at Expo.
Okay, watched it twice, got goosebumps, and it's coming to D23, hopefully.
Steven said, everyone has seen the photo of Jar Jar hiding in the dust.
So that is the question. Has everybody seen the photo
I
of Jar
haven't
Jar
seen
hiding
it.
in the dust in the right corner?
Jar Jar hiding in the dust in the right corner.
Yeah, it's on that picture that Tyler showed us a little while ago.
Misa, so scared.
Oh no.
This one? That one?
No, the poster.
Oh, this one.
Poster. There you go. Right there in the corner. See him? Next comment.
Next comment from someone named William Fonda. if I got that
William
correct.
Fonda. Don't know that guy.
All caps. The Last Jedi trailer. Nothing, yet everything.
Nothing,
Yeah,
everything.
Agreed.
Yep, that's true.
Jenny Schneip. Ladiva Jenny. This is a shocker.
The Ladiva herself.
I've watched it 5 times.
Watched
and
it
I'm
5
not even
times.
a Star Wars person.
Yeah.
Not even a
she's
Star Wars
not.
person.
Jenny, who are you?
Well, we do know she squeals and screams at Star Wars because she just can't handle the
watching
excitement.
Star Wars with her is
It's
great fun.
It's definitely
Then again, that is
entertaining.
her walking into most rooms. So
And one more from Steven.
I think that's an do you want me to read it real
Sure,
quick?
go ahead.
The teaser failed to convince me that this is not just an Empire Strikes Back rehashed. If so, I can't wait for the training scene.
they're going to do
There
it.
definitely
but yeah.
is. There's going to be that I feel about it, I think. But yeah, I think it'll be great. I actually liked the what is it? The Jedi. What's the line?
It's time.
The time for the Jedi to die.
To
To end. Yeah, and I thought that's absolutely intriguing, and to see where it can go from a storytelling standpoint.
Mr. Bond.
Mr. Bond. Yes,
For the Jedi to die.
he would be a good Bond villain.
Who?
Luke.
Oh, Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill would
Yeah,
be
would be an amazing Bond
ridiculous-
villain.
Like Sean Connery.
He's a good villain in general now.
That would be amazing.
I'm not dead. I'm a villain.
Anyway, that's exactly right. Predictions on the movie.
It's going to be amazing, and it's going to make $1 bajillion. So, yeah.
More than the first one?
It will make
The
more than
first
it'll
Force
make more
Awakens?
than Force Awakens, and I know the argument against it is that there was a lot of hype for Force Awakens going into it, that it was the first movie back, what have you. But they've proven themselves with that one.
Yeah.
So Last Jedi, I think, is just going to ride that train and do much better, and it's going to build and have a Return of the King effect on the third one in the series, which is to say, blow it out of the water and win all the awards. It's just going to.
Let's hope.
I'm so many hype. It's gonna be 2 thumbs up. Like, I'm still gonna show up to the premiere in a Han Solo costume, even though Han Solo's not in this. Don't remind me.
With a burn hole in the middle?
Can you
Can you?
betrayal? I can make that happen. But it's gonna be so good. I completely agree. Like, they've proved themselves to The Force Awakens. I feel like this is much more mass appeal, even to people who don't necessarily think they're Star Wars fans. I feel like there's an appeal with this new trilogy that people are getting drawn into it, and they are getting into the Star Wars series. So I think that this is going to be really, really, really great, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the trilogy.
You guys have any fears with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not honoring Carrie Fisher correctly and how she goes out.
I'm scared.
They've already announced officially that she's not going to be in 9, which means that my biggest worry, I guess, is that they just let her story kind of come to the end of episode 8 and then they just don't mention it in 9. I think that's the worst thing they could do.
I feel like they have to mention it somehow.
I want to see Leia go out in a blaze of glory. And we've talked about this before, that it should be a sucker punch. Like, it should hurt.
Everybody better walk out of that crying.
Yeah, but that's the proper way to respect that character, in my mind.
You know what I just realized? We're gonna have to see in honor of Carrie Fisher at the end of
Yeah, we
episode
are.
8, and
It's
I am genuinely tearing up thinking about that. Wow. Okay.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have for this week. Sorry to end it on a downer, but we have a surprise for you as this show ends.
Surprise.
It is Bacon Man's birthday.
It's Bacon Man's birthday!
So Bacon Man will be on the show
Bacon
as soon as it
Man.
ends. Actually, just come on. So this is the end of the show for this week. Cameron, say what you're going to say.
As the Bacon Man dances, know that you should go to
keep dancing, Bacon Man.
thegeekscorner.com. That is thegeekscorner.com if you'd like to watch all of our episodes. We recently got a lot of our older episodes on there, so go check out some of our content. There'll be all the bacon. There's a lot more bacon on there as well. Thegeekscorner.com, be sure to check it out.
Go check out our articles on all things Star Wars Celebration, everything even geekier, if you could imagine it, on the DAPs, on dapsmagic.com. There's no the. Cut the. It's like Facebook.
Yes.
Dapsmagic.com. Go check it out. We all write some pretty cool stuff.
And we'll see you around the corner.